The Arsenal transfer news is kicking off even more now today, which is Friday, as you know, the day after the tragic passing of Diego Jota. One thing before we start the show, can we just do this? Can we just enjoy each other's company for the next 5 to 10 minutes and be positive about the news I'm about to break to you? And before we get any further, I would like to say, can we do 20 seconds of a clap for Diego Jota? This guy was special. He was absolutely fantastic for Liverpool. When he played against us, against Arsenal, he destroyed us. He danced around us. He scored against us, whether it's at Anfield or the Emirates. He literally destroyed us. And he's gonna be missed. And prayers go out to his friends, his family, his newly wife, kids. Nothing but love going to you. Okay. So let's kick off. Tomiyasu is leaving Arsenal. Or should I say, he's gone. Contract terminated. Gabriel Heinze coming in as a new coach. And Martinelli is not a subject of an £80 million bid from Saudi. Yeah, I said it. I'm Ty Knight here for TK24 Sports. If you're new to the show, like, subscribe, turn that notification on. We hit the 1,000 subscribers yesterday. Thank you so much. Keep on subscribing. Let's roll on for 10,000 subscribers now. We've got a new mission. And one thing I'm going to ask from now on, please watch the full show. I need these minutes to go up. And you guys are cutting off too early. Impatient summer, man. Okay, so Arsenal, Tomiyasu, it's done. It's over. Contract has been mutually terminated. It's been reported there on X. Sammy Mockbell came out of it. Then you had David Ornstein and everyone else drove in after that and said, yes, Arsenal, Tomiyasu, love affair, it's done. He's been injury plagued for so long, and Arsenal have missed out on what was. Now I will say was because he is no longer the player he first showed when he burst onto the scene. I remember that first game that he played against Norwich at the Emirates, and I was like, wow, this guy looks a real deal. But after that, he was a real deal of injuries. And again, that's just not his fault. That's just his body's failing on him. Apart from that, if he was fit, I will say this, he would have been shown off a starter. He was so versatile, right back, left back, centre back. I remember the game at the Emirates when he locked up Mo Salah and people were saying, that is our that is our guy. He is the real deal. But he's going to be surely missed. He's going to be surely missed. And that is why Arsenal are going after another defender. That is why Arsenal are making a move for the 20-year-old from Valencia, Mascara, who he comes in. He looks like he's going to be the deal. He's going to be the one to come in for Saliba when we need to rest him. The difference is he's just raw. Arsenal, can you get to 20 million euros to release him for Valencia, even though Valencia placed a new contract under his nose, and he's like, hey, no, I want to go to Arsenal. That's where I see my future. And should he come into Arsenal, we have to see what he can do. We have to be patient. We have to be calm. Composure is needed from Arsenal fans. And talking about composure, Martinelli, the subject of the news yesterday broken about how an £80 million bid from Al-Nassr is going to happen, and Martinelli is at the subject of it. He's not. He's not. Listening to what Ben Jacobs has said on the Highbury squad, I just watched it just a moment ago to get more clarity on this. Martinelli is just a peripheral player who they're looking at. Luis Diaz is the main target, but Liverpool have said no, 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 no. Martinelli's name has been mentioned, but it doesn't mean that that's the one they're going to go and make a bid for. No talks have happened between Arsenal and Al Nassr. No, it hasn't happened. All we do know is this: Martinelli's name has just been mentioned. But the big question is, what I saw yesterday on X was, gosh, if we can get 80 to 85 million for Martinelli, we got to sell him. It's time to say goodbye. And I think that just raises the question, doesn't it? At that sort of money, can you turn it down for Martinelli? Or do you say, why can't we go back in and maybe say, if you give us 95 million, we'll sell him? That's a talking point. Because it doesn't mean that they're not going to come back at 95 million. They may come back at 90. Then you say, Okay. And then is that the case of 1 out, 2 in? The reason why I say that, Arsenal have money put aside for Rodrigo. I believe they do. They've got money put aside for the striker, whether it's Sesko or Gyökeres. But do they have money put aside for the Eze deal? Do they have money put aside to make Arsenal's attack better than what it is? Everyone knows Arsenal's weakness is in attack. And that's my opinion. I just believe Arsenal's attack is only on the right hand side. You may turn and say, "Ty, it's not necessarily belief. I know it. My cat, my dog, my budgie knows it." But it said Mikel Arteta doesn't seem to fix it. And this is what Andrea Berta is going to do this summer. He's going to fix Arsenal's attack. Arsenal need at least 3 players to come in. And I'm not just saying that because that's just what's reported. I'm saying this is what I see. Our attack is weak in the middle. Our attack is weak on the left. Attack is okay on the right, but we need more options and we need teams to start fearing us when we rock up to their stadium as well as when they rock up to ours. They need to know that we can attack them from the left, we can attack them through the center, and we can attack them on the right. And any situation, we can hurt them. And that's why I like the links with the Eze, the links of a Rodrigo, the links of a Sesko or a Gyökeres. Whichever way we go, we need to add in 3 of those players. You can turn around and say, is a Noni Madueke a good addition to the squad? It helps. Okay, but we have Ethan Ranieri, who is more than capable to play a full season next year. Sorry, say next year, this upcoming season, he's more than capable. We know he can score goals. We know he can take on plays. We know he can pass. The difference is, can he do it over a long, grueling campaign? But adding a Madueke in, could that help Arsenal? Yes. Are you happy with it? No. Okay. Would you be happy with an Eze? Yes, you will. Would you be happy with Rodrigo? Yes, you will. Would you be happy with a Sesko? No, majority of you won't. You'll be more happy with a Gyökeres because of the numbers you see as what he plays. Now, my thing is, again, with the Gyökeres and the Sesko situation is, Andrea Berta just has to make his mind up. This game he's playing where you're playing one off the other, to me, just doesn't work. Both clubs know you need a striker. Both clubs know what you're trying to do. The difference is what club is going to blink first. And to me, I think on the other side of things, Andrea Berta, yeah, okay, he's doing things cool. It's just that other clubs got to think, okay, if we say yes now to this deal, he has to go with us. And I think the clubs are being a bit stubborn and stupid, thinking, well, he has to pay the price of what we said. There is a yes to that, but it's also whoever blinks first is going to get the money from Arsenal. That's how you have to look at it. RB Leipzig could fall into the trap of saying, okay, Sporting have said yes. Do you wish to lower our figure? If they say no, the difference is how many other suitors are out there for Sesko. If there's no more other suitors who's going to be willing to pay the money, you've lost out on the bag. Where Sporting will turn and say, well, we know we've got Man United in the wings waiting to see what happens with Arsenal at the same time. Gyökeres has not said no to Manchester United. He's open to Manchester United. He's also more open to Arsenal for the fact of living in London. He's going to play in the Champions League. Both clubs, Man United and Arsenal, play in the Premier League. So that appeal is there. Maybe the appeal is just not living in Manchester, maybe getting a visit from the Moss Side crew. I'm just joking when I say that. But my point is, Gyökeres would fancy a move to Arsenal. Sesko would love a move to Arsenal. The difference is who's just going to make the move happen? Is it Andrea Berta, or is it Sporting, or is it IB Leipzig, or is it all of them coming together and saying, okay, this is what we can do. Andrea Berta, what are you going to do? And we can go from there. But my opinion still stands. I think it's going to be Sesko that comes through the door. But there's a little nagging feeling in my head that it could be Gyökeres. It just could be Gyökeres out of all of this. I think RB Leipzig is going to play a dumb game. They're going to miss out, and we're going to end up with Gyökeres. Again, I'm not going to be mad at it. I'll be cool. I'll be like, okay, cool. Now, how are we going to utilize this man? Because the Premier League is changing, and the teams that we face go low block a lot of the time. And is Gyökeres suited to a low block, whereas Sesko could be more suited? But the difference is, if we go low block and we've got Gyökeres there hanging on the shoulder, we know we can get that ball fed through to him. his shots are lethal and he may score more goals than what a Sesko could do. Whereas if we're going to be crossing the ball, which is more of Arsenal's game plan, then Sesko's more suited to that. But then again, we do have a Kai Havertz there, so technically, those games that we do have to cross the ball in, maybe Kai Havertz plays more. But that's something we have to cross once we know who the striker is going to be. And we go off to the Far East soon for our preseason tour. And Mikel Arteta wanted his striker in by then. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. And I think it's going to be more frustrating there. We're going to be playing a couple of games out there and those strikers in their camp. And then I'll start be looking at the Arsenal, the board, and then looking at Andrea Berto and saying, listen, you guys have to make a move on because it's not long before we hit August. And when it's August the 16th and we play on August the 17th for my birthday, are we even going to have a striker? Are we even going to have a team to compete for the Premier League? Or is it going to be the BS, which is the transfer window closes on September? So we've still got time. We've still got time. Be patient, be patient. The one thing we're going to be more patient on is on the Rodrigo situation because Real Madrid are still in the Club World Cup, and then until that finishes, he needs to go back and start having conversations. But I think the conversations have already been done in his head, which is, I ain't playing no more. I'm getting my backside out here. I'm coming to England. I'm coming to London. I'm coming to the Emirates. And I'm hoping that's going to be the situation. I really am. But we just don't know until that happens. Anyway, what's your thoughts so far? Again, comments are so important. Your comments lead to conversations with myself. If you leave a comment, I will reply and then we can have a conversation about it. Or better yet, would you like to come onto the show? How about that one? Let me know. I'm Ty Knight here for TK24 Sports.